Dear friends, good morning. Dear ministers, it's great to have two ministers involved in this great event. And of course, dear colleague Dacia, we are fighting for Europe, but being aware of what's happening in your country, it is really, you took the fire and the inspiration already within your country, or you took your inspiration out of the Romanian people to Brussels. And I can assure you, it is a great challenge to be here. And one of the most impressive parts for me is that just looking around and getting opportunities, thanks to all those who are guiding me today, I'm fed by the inspiration and the motivation of so many people who are involved in initiatives in Romania. It is, by the way, absolutely clear that it is not a matter of are you in favor for a digital world, yes or no. It is a fact of life. And that for me is main. If it is a fact of life, and it is a fact of life, then we should make it happening that there is no situation where there is a dividing of our society. Everybody, wherever in Europe, where that is our territory, Dacia, we have to speak about Europe as a territory, as a real continent, then we shouldn't allow that some people can't afford one way or another to have all the advantages of this great challenge that is happening, that technology. And for me, it is main. Every European should be digital. And every European should be digital, not depending on age, not depending on the location, not depending on your economic situation. Every European should be digital. For it is a revolution. It is comparable to what did happen in the Industrial Revolution, or even, I think it's more important and it's more influencing our society. And I'm grateful to the Gates Foundation that they did do quite a job. And a lot of other initiatives this morning are proving that so many people are committed. And I'm grateful to the Romanian government that on the invitation of President Barroso, they appointed Paul Barron as a digital champion. He is doing a great job. He is inspiration. He is indeed not only implementing, but he is also delivering. And every member state, all the 28 member states, should have people like Paul. So far, 26 have appointed their digital champion. And for us in Brussels, they are absolutely main because they are in the heart of the society. And there is a lot to do. And when people are asking me, what is your biggest worry in Europe? Well, to be quite clear to you, it is the youth unemployment. And we are discussing that quite often in the Commission. And not only discussing, but trying to develop plans to tackle that. We're talking about member states of the European Union facing a youth unemployment figure of 64% in certain member states, and thanks heaven not that high in your country, but still far too high. You are talking, if we are not dealing with it, about a lost generation. And I'm always saying, tackling the youth unemployment, and of course tackling the economic recession, is at stake and it's possible. And one of the instruments is in the digital technology. And talking about all those people who are involved and who can just make big step forwards is a challenge. And what is fascinating over here, and I'm certain that you are walking around and that you are meeting those people too, there are so many inventors. And the minister was explaining to me that those inventors, sometimes 19-year-old, but also within the group of young children, there were already inventions. They are our hope and they are our glory for solving the problem. But we also are absolutely facing their right questions. What are you doing now? And then if we are talking about Romania, that 1 in 10 does not have any kind of fixed broadband coverage, then we have to solve that. And we were discussing, the minister and I myself were discussing this morning, and taking into account that via the structural funds of Europe, there are opportunities and there are indeed hooks where we can just give backing for the Romanian government. And by the way, it's not only a matter of talking about money, about funding, it's also talking about those people who can accompany those projects. And then we don't talk about skills. And that was also fascinating this morning. A couple of big companies are gathering, and that's not only in Romania, but it's also in all over Europe, those grand coalitions where companies are absolutely aware that within a couple of years there is a huge challenge. In 2015, so that is around the corner, there is a figure to be expected of vacancies in ICT. Isn't that strange that on one hand we have the tremendous youth unemployment, and on the other hand the expectation that quite soon there is that not to be filled in vacancies that are ICT related. It's still not too late. We should act. And therefore, with the Grand Coalition, with all those companies that are involved, and what I was discussing with the minister, what we can do in just filling that gap and doing our utmost for it should be also for every Romanian at stake that we do have not only coverage, but that we do have a decent job when wanted. Today, when we are talking about the networks, telecom providers cannot easily work as integrated single market operations. And therefore, the Commission took that decision in the telco single market package. And in that package, it is proposed, and thanks also to leadership of Romania in backing that during the European Council, but we have to take the next hurdles too, as well in the Council of Ministers. So there I will discuss it further with the colleagues and of them and of your minister, so to say, and in the European Parliament. We have to get this package through, that indeed there will be consumer protection, that we will get rid of roaming. We are talking about a younger generation that is born, where it is within their DNA that they have to do what is connected with digital development, with the technology. And my generation had to learn it and had to be instructed, and it's worthwhile. So also for a population on the other part of the spectrum, please take the advantage, for it can make a lot of sense. You can just check your own health when you have such bands in checking if you had enough exercise. You can get in touch with your children. You can get in touch with all the events that are fascinating in your surrounding, but it is asking for skills. And talking about one skill that is main and getting more and more important. It's not anymore the education, and I'm looking at the Minister of Education and Research, and we were discussing that this morning, that it's so important that it is another mindset what you need in education. Talking about coding. Coding is main. And we should start with coding with the very young children already. And the idea of European Coding Week in November is at stake, and I sincerely hope that Romania does its bit and take that opportunity. For it's fun, and we were seeing it when the young kids were just combining a language lesson with a geographical lesson with different cultures, and it is making fun. So we need to do it together. We need to take these opportunities to just get the economy in better shape, and we can do it. We should, of course, tackle the skills that we are prepared for this new digital age, and I'm absolutely certain with ministers that are in the fighting spirit, like those two ministers, and I'm certain that your colleagues are also in the fighting spirit, and I will discuss that with your Prime Minister too later on. I wish you a lot of success, and just be aware that it's a fascinating moment to live in, for everything is nearby possible, and you are one of the connected continent, and you are in a very special position in this part of the world. So take your chances. Thank you.